I'm so pleased that we're making this video. I know you want to tell your story, and yet we're doing this for information purposes only. I think we need to say that this is not any kind of medical advice at all, right?
Right, it's my experience.
Your experience. Okay, so why don't we start out with you introducing yourself and maybe give us your diagnosis and how did you find out about it?
Well, as you said, I'm Richard.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I found out I had cancer in September 2017.
Okay.
I went in the hospital for an infection in a spine stimulator implant.
Okay.
And they ended up having to take it out. And they were concerned when they took it out that my white blood cell count didn't go down. It was still up and they didn't know why. So they started looking, trying to figure out why. And they took an x-ray when they put in my PICC line.
Mm-hmm.
And in the x-ray they saw something that they weren't sure about, and my doctor had the X-ray technicians and the doctor look at it to see, and the next morning my doctor came in and told me that they believe I had lung cancer.
Okay.
They said stage 3 at that time.
What kind of cancer was it?
It's a squamous cell carcinoma lung cancer in my left lung.
Non-small cell?
Yes, non-small cell.
Non-small. Okay. All right. So that was in the left. Okay.
And later, I got a small thing in my right lung, at the bottom of the lung.
Okay.
The big one was on the left lung, up on top.
Okay. So what did they recommend, and what did you decide to do?
Well, I had to get biopsy to make sure.
Okay.
And it was exactly what they said. And so they had me go see the oncologist at the Falk Cancer Center, and they started me on chemo.
Okay.
And I did chemo for 3 months, and they had to stop because the skin on my feet was peeling off to raw skin underneath, and my toenails were all came off on my toes, and all the other symptoms I was getting. I lost my hair. Just a variety of regular type symptoms that you would get with chemo.
And that was 3 months. And then
Yes.
what did that do for the cancer?
Well,
itself?
at that time, they said it was gone,
Oh, okay.
but 3 months later, they did another scan, and it was all back.
Okay.
It came back. Then, of course, they're not sure about it, so they got to wait another 3 months and do another PET scan,
Oh boy. Okay.
and decided that they wanted to do radiation,
Okay.
targeted radiation.
Okay.
And that's only a few weeks, but it's every day. You go in every day and do it. And that also worked a little bit.
Okay. What about the side effects from that one, from radiation?
I didn't recognize or notice any side effects with that.
Okay. But it appeared to work.
Yeah. And 3 months later, another scan, and it was back.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, squamous, non-small cell squamous cancer is a aggressive
Okay.
cancer. And
Okay.
so it doesn't generally work well getting rid of it.
Okay. All right. So what other treatments did you try? Because I know you did several others.
Well, after, the waiting time is always in between waiting for these scans, because the insurance company, of course, 3 months between all the scans. And after I had another scan to see where I was at the present time, which was always about the same, maybe generally a little bit bigger. That's when they noticed the one in my right lung on the bottom. There was a small part down there, and they decided to try immunotherapy.
Okay.
And they did immunotherapy for months. And that one wasn't every week. That one was every 2 weeks.
Okay.
But you do it for months at a time. You wait between each one, to do it. And at the end of that one, they decided nothing happened. The scan showed nothing. Didn't do anything.
Okay, so during all of this, the chemo, radiation, and immunotherapy, can you describe your quality of life? What were things like then? How were you?
There was a point at the end, and I would say all this stuff happened in a period from September 2017 to August 2019.
All right.
And it got to the point after the immunotherapy, the doctor wanted to start chemo again. So I started chemo again. I had it twice.
Two treatments.
Two treatments, and everything came back quickly.
All right.
It's as if I'd been on it for months. I hadn't got off it the last time. All the symptoms were back. I got to the point where I couldn't even go to the bathroom without being just about carried to the bathroom.
Okay.
Couldn't move. Couldn't just couldn't do anything. It was bad.
And I remember your mouth, the skin in your mouth was peeling
I
off.
had to go to the hospital because I woke up one night. I kept feeling stuff, and all the skin in my mouth peeled off. I had raw skin underneath, and my face looked like I'd been eating raw meat. It was blood, blood everywhere. And I couldn't eat and I couldn't drink, so they put me in the hospital for that until it healed up.
As I recall, you were feeling pretty weak too. You used the walker
Yeah.
when you did get up, but you really didn't.
I
do a
had
lot
to
of
use the
moving.
walker. It was bad. It was bad. It was so bad. I had a family meeting,
All right. Yes.
and we decided what we were going to do when I passed away. We got picked out and bought a headstone, got plot, talked to the funeral director. Everything was set for when I died.
But I remember about that same time you said you hated wakes.
I didn't want to have a wake.
So we all helped you do something different.
Well, you guys decided, everybody decided that, okay, we won't do a wake, but let's have a celebration of life.
So we all decided, and you were in on it too.
Well,
we all decided that you wanted a celebration of life.
but they told me I would have nothing to do with it. I didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Okay.
I was on the sidelines. Everybody set it up, and it went well. We had it. It was about a month later, and we got a hold of a bunch of people and told them about it. And my children did what they advertised on Facebook or whatever, and so we had it at what time was it?
I think it ran from 2 to 4, and you left at 5,
Yeah.
and it seen everyone. We had
That was
name tags and
the room was beautiful, but I never even saw it. I was so busy talking to people.
which is what you wanted.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Sat there, and everybody came to see me, and they were in line. There was a line all that time, and then there was over 300 people.
That's
And
right.
I was surprised. It was on the news.
Yeah, you
And
were
it's
interviewed.
still on the news.
Yeah.
If you look up my name,
Yeah.
Richard Margeson, on Google, and it says WENY, and you can see it
That's right.
on there.
That's right. And I know several people approached me afterwards and said that this gave them an idea, that they really wanted to have a party too before they died,
Yeah.
so they could see everyone.
It just never made sense to me to have a wake.
Doctor says I don't want to wait. Things don't make sense.
So this makes you feel good.
Yeah,
Seeing
yeah.
all these people here, your family, people travel from all over, to be here with you.
Friends, people from years ago. I have students here that I had 20 years ago in my classes, and grandchildren. Everybody's here.
So now after the party, you pretty much decided chemo was, I remember you saying to me, the cancer's not killing me, the chemotherapy's killing me. And so you opted not to do any more.
Well, what we've been doing the last month or so, we were actively looking online to see what other choices there were.
Mm-hmm.
We looked up some that turned out we couldn't do because of logistics
Right.
and cost. $1,000 a month where it wasn't covered by insurance.
Right.
So we found, we ended up finding Protocell
Right.
and got a hold of them. And at that time, we were asking questions about it,
Mm-hmm.
and the only place we got any answers was in this book here, Outsmart Your Cancer.
And there are 4 chapters about
Four
Protocell
chapters,
in there.
four chapters in this book
yeah.
about Protocell. It's Tanya Harder Pierce, Outsmart Your Cancer, and this gave us all the information: dosing, history, case studies, everything. Any question we had is in here. Symptoms, and we got it, and we started it at 26th of
September
September.
at 7:00 at night.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's easy. It's easy to do. I recommend anybody, if they want to do it, they read the chapters, read the book, or not the book, but the chapters on Protocell, because that tells you what you've got to do.
Okay.
If you can't do it, then don't start it. But because it's not expensive, but it's not cheap.
And it's time consuming.
It's
I mean,
$300 a bottle.
which is how long a
It took 82 days for my first bottle.
So it's almost 3 months.
Yeah, $3.65 a day
Okay.
is what it cost me for that bottle. And I'm on my second bottle.
Okay. And how long will you take it?
Well, first of all, after I was taking this for about 2 months, it was time to get another scan.
Oh yes.
So I went
Right.
to the hospital, had the scan, and a week later went to see the doctor. And the doctor was surprised. He said my tumor had shrunk 40%. And he hadn't been treating me, so he asked me what I've been doing. And I told him. And he said, keep it up. Keep it up. And so I just feel so good. When you read this story, the history, you understand, and they tell you why it's not. Explains why it's not out there for everybody.
Okay.
The FDA doesn't approve it. You got to read it. You can see they didn't treat them right.
Yeah, as I recall reading that, the original, they didn't follow Sheridan's protocol.
Right.
So
They did the same thing with Protocell that they do with all the chemo in testing. They
Right.
inject the mouse with it and expect the mouse to die. But this is non-toxic.
right.
Protocell is non-toxic. There's nothing in it that can hurt you.
And as I recall, also the chemotherapy is like once a day for a certain period of time, whereas you're taking this every day, and you're going to be taking. You've done it for 3 months now.
Well, there's several ways you can choose to do it.
Okay.
I chose to do 5 times a day, every 5 hours. You cannot go over 6 hours, otherwise it doesn't work as well.
Because the dose isn't leveled in your body.
Yes.
Okay.
So, with a 24-hour day, I did it every 5 hours except for 1 4-hour.
Okay. How is that? I mean that.
Well, it's turned out to be quite easy.
Is it?
Even when I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I can be up for less than a minute and a half.
Okay.
Take it, and it's so easy. You just measure out. I have a measuring cup that I measure out the water, 4 ounces. I turn around, go to the counter, and get my little.
Syringe.
Well, it's not a syringe. It's with a bulb on the end.
Oh, all right. Measure. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
and squeeze it up. I have a line written on that. It goes right up to the line. Put it in there. Put it down. Take it over to the sink. Stir it. Drink it down. And I'm back in bed.
Okay. Okay. And then again, how long do they suggest you take the protocol over, the course of treatment?
Well, the book is told many times where people have done it and it's worked well. The times that it hasn't worked well is when the people were told that that their cancer was gone,
Mm-hmm.
and they stopped right away.
All right.
But the book suggests that you continue it for another year, and I think that's I want to live,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so little to do, and I want a life. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
miss my family and them miss me because I'm gone.
What other ways have you changed your life that goes along with the protocol? Protocell, rather. I mean, I know you're not eating sugar.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of stuff. What
Well,
other?
from the beginning, people told me, and I read it, and that you shouldn't have sugar because it's not good for cancer. It's such an easy food for cancer, and it'll grow
Mhm.
better. It was hard for me to stop sugar, but after a while, it just kind of automatically. I got into things like fermented foods, and I'll eat pickles at night, half sour pickles.
All right.
And that works. I mean, it's good.
Okay.
It's like eating fresh cucumbers. It's not like pickles.
And the fermented food is so good for your gut biome
Yeah,
anyway.
it's
too, so.
it's natural probiotics.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking that I've got while you're here, I've got to make some sweet half sour pickles.
Okay.
Because I'm almost out, and I want to get some in the refrigerator so I can be working on them every night.
Some more probiotics.
And then make the kimchi.
Okay.
And
Sounds good to me.
I'd like to get that done. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
All
Let's go
right.
do that.
Okay.
Should we get the cucumber and the kimchi out?
Well, I want to make my homemade probiotic that I use all the time.
all right. Okay.
On this side here.
Let's get the top.
Well, I know there's a whole one in here. I'm gonna have I need. I'm also gonna get out my kimchi.
All right. Why don't we take out the lemonade?
Yeah, let's drink that in a minute.
All right. Okay.
What I'm doing is I make my own probiotic by doing the fermented foods.
Right. Okay.
It's a probiotics are necessary. It's a good part of the diet.
Yeah.
I was eating chocolate all the time, and sugar's not good for cancer.
Right. Right. Right.
So I've kind of substituted my half sour pickles and kimchi
Okay.
for snacking on chocolate.
And that's going to help your gut health.
Yes.
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 Okay.
So I do the. I make half sour pickles. I
Alright.
just love them. They're so easy to do.
And what's the difference between half sours and the pickles that we're used to buying in the store?
Well, basically, it's no vinegar.
Mm. So how do they pickle?
Well, good question. How do they pickle? By fermentation.
Oh. All right.
Fermentation. So what you do is you just prepare your vegetable and you put it in a brine,
Okay.
leave it out on the counter for about 3 days,
Mm-hmm.
and put it in the refrigerator. It's done. And basically it's just a brine,
All right.
salt and water, and you use you can add garlic and different spices and seasonings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just love it. I've got to the point where I just love my my fermentation.
How much of you are you eating every day?
I eat it every day.
Okay.
That's why I have to make so much. Besides buying some, which you find in the cold deli
Okay.
at the supermarket. Besides that, you also, I've gotten to the point where I make my own.
All
It
right.
costs an awful lot less.
Okay.
It's just so easy. Look it up online
Okay.
and you find it out. And the recipe's easy to do. It's just, besides this, the half sour pickles.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I also make kimchi.
That's also brined.
Yes, and it's also fermented.
Okay.
Kimchi is a Korean fermented dish, and I love it. But I really like the pickles. The pickles are the thing.
Now, is that brine a standard? I mean, is the recipe online for the amount of salt to water for the brine?
Yes, I think it's something like 2 tablespoons per pint
Okay. Okay.
of salt.
But what you're doing is actually using your established brine and just adding new.
Yes, until I need a new one. You
Okay.
can tell by taste.
All right.
If it doesn't work, taste it. So all I do is take a regular pickle. I was getting the whole pickles, the
Cucumber.
gherkins.
Okay. The
little-
cucumber.
Yeah,
Cucumbers.
cucumbers.
The Kirby's. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And doing those, but I find that this works quicker.
Okay.
It's easier to eat.
All right. Okay.
So I just
So far, all you've done is peel it.
peel it, cut it to the shape you want to put it in,
Okay.
and you're all set. It's really not any problem at all.
Yeah. And how long did you say it would take? 3
Well,
days?
you put it on the counter, and usually it's done in about 3 to 4 days. It depends on the recipe that you find, in 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
All I'm going to do is set this away because it's time for me
Oh,
to take my medicine,
all right.
my Protocell.
Okay.
So I might as well do that while I'm right here. Show how easy it is. Could you get me 4 ounces of water? And what I do is I just measure it out. And of course I take it 5 times a day. It's just so quick.
And that's filtered water.
Yes. Yes, filtered water.
Okay.
It's a Protocell is what I'm doing.
And you've got that all measured, that line on your...
Got a line right on here.
Okay.
Got it down to a science.
Yes, you do. It doesn't take long at all.
No. If I get up, I've timed myself. I got up in the middle of the night. And I can do it in about a minute and a half, and I'm back to bed. That's it.
Wow.
And as I said before, it's kind of like tasting tea.
Okay.
It's like an herbal tea. It tastes like, but it's cold.
Okay.
But I don't mind that.
Okay. Okay.
So while I'm at it, it's going off. I automatically, every time it goes off, I turn it to the next time that I'm going to need it. So it's now 7 p.m. It's going to be set at 7 p.m. I always set it. Now it's ready.
Forget it. Yeah.
So
Okay.
next time it'll go off.
Okay.
If I go anywhere, I just get a frozen, I have a bottle in the refrigerator, several, with a little ice in it, bottles, and I'll take the medicine, put it in there, and just take it with me. And it's on ice until I need it, and I'll add the water to it.
All right.
And then the one following that, I'll be home.
Mhm.
But, it's quite easy to
Yeah.
do.
So the difference between the kimchi and the half sours, obviously the ingredient.
Well, kimchi is generally made from cabbage. Napa cabbage, Chinese cabbage, and it has the cabbage taste in it. And one spice that you always add is ginger,
Okay.
and that makes a big difference. And it's just
It's according to flavor, your preference too, because I remember you've put shredded carrots in. You've done
radishes,
yes,
green onions.
Green onions, yeah. So it depends on what you feel like having in your kimchi.
That's the
Yeah.
recipe that
Yeah.
you get online.
Now, most people think of kimchi as being very hot.
Well, mine isn't hot at all because I don't put the peppers in.
Okay, so you could put peppers, but not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people like it that way, and I actually do like it. It gets awful hot for me.
Okay.
Because of the cancer, I had a problem with my mouth,
All right.
and all the skin in my mouth fell off.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't eat or drink. And because of that, I'm not eating hot right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm in the process of getting better.
All right.
It wasn't even 4 months ago. I had to have help going to the bathroom. My wife and I went and bought Tombstone. I thought I was headed out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And in just a short time, and I'm not saying I feel better because of the Protocell. I'm saying it helped because I'd stopped the chemo.
Yeah.
And that was a big difference. And because of the protocell, my tumor has shrunk, I believe, 40%. And so,
But you're still not back to where you were before. You're getting there.
oh, I'm doing a lot more. I wasn't doing anything, wasn't getting up, and now I actually cook supper.
Okay.
Not every day, but
Okay.
you know, when there's something I'd like to have and that I make and my wife doesn't usually make, I'll make it. I'll get up and do it, and I'll get up and I'll work in the kitchen. Then I'll go back in and sit down for a little bit. Then I'll get up again and finish some more. But before I wasn't even getting out of the chair,
All right.
just down and out.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I'm up and out.
You ready to go sit?
Yes, yes. And we've got our kimchi we can take with us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll follow you.
All right.
So, does it feel? Many times you take a medication and you're told you have to do this, 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 and this, and it feels like a hardship. Is there any hardship to using the Protocell?
Just getting up in the morning, but I'm used to that now.
Okay.
Getting up in the morning, taking it, and going back to bed. It's when we go on a trip or go visit
Okay,
somebody,
yeah.
and it's going to be past my time to take it. In the refrigerator, I have bottles with ice in it, like little water bottles. I'll take and put the medicine in that and take it with me. And by the time I'm there, either the ice is melted or I add a little bit of water to it and drink it right there.
So it makes it easy
So
to take.
it's not, you get used to doing it, and it's not difficult at all.
And what about your quality of life now in the past it's been about a little over 3 months.
Well,
What changes have you seen?
I don't think I'm dying anymore.
All right, that's a huge thing.
I had no concept of future before. I thought that was it. I bought my cemetery plot, my tombstone. I'm ready to go, or I'm gonna be. I didn't want to, and now I'm thinking about the garden in the spring.
Okay.
And this last year, I never even saw the garden. My wife did it all on her own. I was in here sick, couldn't even get up and get out. And now I'm thinking about doing the garden again myself. I just feel better. I get around better. I don't hardly use the walker at all unless I'm going to be going a long distance. Or in the hospital when they have to walk. But I'm getting around a lot better.
Yeah. And I
feel a
noticed
lot
it
better.
almost at breakneck speed, I have to say. You were really quick.
Well, I feel a lot better.
Okay.
A lot better.
Okay. So what advice would you have for people who were like in the same position you were? You had run the course of the chemo and the radiation, and
Read the book,
Okay.
because that explains it, and then you feel better. You understand it. It makes sense. I've had medical people that have looked at it, and everybody except doctors are all for it. Doctors can't say it because it's not approved by the FDA, and so they really can't say
And
anything.
insurance companies as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, they don't want to have anything to do with it. There was a pharmaceutical company that was interested in the product, but as soon as they found out there was none of the ingredients they could trademark,
Okay.
they dropped it, even though it worked on people.
Okay.
It's
Right.
made hundreds of people better, according to their stories, individual stories.
If there's anyone watching this video who would like to get a hold of you, would you be willing to talk with them?
Yes.
Or
I have a website for that reason. It's Richard's Cancer Journey at yahoo.com.
so they could just send you an email and you respond.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'd be glad to. I'll talk to anybody. Send me your phone number. I'll call you.
Okay.
I want people to. I don't want to be. this is something you can do that doesn't hurt you.
Right. Right.
Cancer was killing me.
And the chemotherapy and radiation were killing you
Yeah,
as well. So
they're
the
all
treatment was killing
things
you.
that are
Yeah.
toxic to your body.
Yeah.
This is completely non-toxic, and it works on the body's electrical system, which each cell has. The cancer cells and other cells in the body have, which are not good cells, they're unhealthy. They have a low electrical count, and this lowers that count to the point where it dissolves the cancer away, and it's released from your body in various ways. Me, the biggest one is blow my nose, so it comes out this way, and from my lungs.
And that's the cancer remnants of the cancer cells.
Yes.
That's coming out. Okay.
Yeah. And when I go to the bathroom, the toilet's foamy,
Okay.
and that's another sign. There's a lot of signs, and they're all in the book.
So that kind of is reassuring that you know it's working.
Yes. Yeah.
Plus the fact that
I'm feeling better.
yeah, and the cancer tumor, the larger tumor, was reduced 40%, and the smaller one was negligible.
And in 2 months, I'll be getting another scan. And I'm confident that it's going to be good news. I'll let you know. I'll let everybody know.
Yes, let everybody know. Okay, very good. Any other last bits of advice or message you'd like to give?
I thought I would be dead by now. I really did. I thought my time was up. I was so sick. And from the beginning, the doctors told me that the most I would have is 3 years. And I'm feeling better now than I have any time in the last 2 years.
Good. Gonna have you around a lot longer.
It's all because of Protocell. Read the story. Oh,
Thank you very
read
much.
the story.
Thank you, Richard.